Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 28 of our Interplanetary Voyage, and in previous episode we have successfully delivered the Karborundrum fuel, well, let's say moderately successfully delivered Karborundrum fuel in the lander that has landed, or let's say crashed near the KSC. Now it's time for the second component of our Karborundrum delivery system to kick in, and we are gonna take two of our Kerbals, one pilot, Hallery Kerman, and we will be taking one engineer. And I'm thinking, whom do we have on engineer? Albert or Bill? Well, Bill hasn't gotten too many missions, so I think I'm gonna take Bill. And the task for today is take this rover, which is the rover that I have shown built in my last Kerbal engineering video as a part of the Karborundrum delivery system, or the second component, the first one being the Karborundrum lander that we have crashed in the previous episode at Kerbin, and now Karborundrum Retriever, as it's called here. So we'll be setting it as a target, and we have some 11-kilometer drive here on Kerbin all the way up to that bad boy, and then we will load up on the Karborundrum and then return back to the KSC. So yeah, sorry, this episode is a little bit about drive, and it's a little bit about drive on Kerbin with this rover. So not much will be happening apart from me driving here. Okay, towards the end of the episode we do have some others, so just be warned. And while I'm doing so, we have also been busy in terms of building the Karborundrum ships that we will be launching soon, and by soon I mean next couple of episodes. You will see some engineering episodes because we needed to build the Karborundrum powered warp capable lander that I'm planning to send on Duna to rescue Chuck, Wilhoff Tarkin, and Ikrit Kerman. These three guys will be hopefully rescued by that lander and brought up, I'm hoping, to the Duna orbital station, where we have a lot more supplies hanging until the time when we actually get the colony or the surface colony modules back to Duna surface at the place where we have designated as a base. So yeah. As you can see, this is a little bit time accelerated, so we are driving towards the Karborundrum Retriever, and I have a little bit under-engineered or underestimated the drain of these motors that are powering this rover, so I am having a little bit of a power crisis here, as you can see by my electric charge supply. But so far some of this is being downhill, so I'm not overly worried. In the end we will be basically getting there and extracting all that sweet Karborundrum so that we can actually fly with it. I mean, some of the craft that I've been working hard on designing in the recent couple of episodes, by the way, I have already 2 episodes of Kerbal engineering already recorded that you will be seeing soon. And for those of you who are tuning in, the Kerbal engineering episodes are the ones where I typically build stuff from the get-go. So I basically take for example, the Rover, or I take a craft or an SSTO and I design it from scratch, and I'm showing you guys how to do it. So yeah. I'm obviously playing with lots of mods, so I've gotten some requests for some stock SSTOs and stuff. I might be building that in an offshoot episode somewhere, but the main I'm not that crazy when it comes to building with the stock SSTOs, because I really like my procedural wings. I love the ability to actually take the wings and shape it best to the craft that they are using. I don't like tiling system as it is being used today, so yeah, that's my reasoning. Okay, so 2 kilometers away from the Karborundrum retriever. This rover is pretty stable, and it's pretty hefty, and the gravity on the Duna, on the Kerbin is actually way heftier than the Duna, so we don't have the worries of flipping and losing control that much. So I was able to definitely drive a little bit faster than I was on Duna, and I wasn't worried about, backflips and stuff. Okay, roughly 1.6 kilometers to go. A little bit steeper uphill, and as you can see, my power crisis kicking in. I'm draining this bad boy dry. Come on, you can do it, you can do it. Oh well. Notes to myself, add more RTGs next time. Okay, I'll let it just... By the way, if you're wondering why is my pod looking strange, I'm using the mod called Transparent Pods that normally shows the windows and it shows nicely the innards. It actually composes the picture from the exterior and the interior views, but for some reason it's glitching with the Caribou rover. I don't know why. Okay. So, we have been holding still just for a second until my charge gets refilled. And then once again we are kicking the gas just for a little bit smidge there. We are going very slow and we're going slightly uphill, so I am having issues. So I think I'm going to be kicking the time acceleration because I really want my rover to fully fill up. Good. And now we will use that to kick off the initial burst of speed, at least to get us to 10 meters per second, and then we are close enough so we don't need to accelerate that much more. Okay, we're into final 800 meters, so I'm going to delete the custom waypoint. Driving slowly but surely towards our Karborundrum retriever. Okay, 100 meters, and we are coming up on it, hitting the brakes and making sure that we park alongside it. I think that's good enough. Okay, so let's plop over and just roll down the ladder, and I think I'm gonna be taking Bill out for a walk. Like I said, I don't know why is this cabin glitching. It looks perfectly in the VAB. By the way, guys, if anybody knows why it's glitching, do let me know. It is a mod that comes with the deep freeze called Transparent Pods, and generally makes the craft look much more beautiful, actually. Okay, so let's put screwdriver, wrench, and maybe a ground base I don't need, but I do need the pipe endpoints. Okay. So let's see. How do we tackle this? We take this, we take action, and we should, as far as I understand, screw this or attach this to somewhere. Can I put it here? No. So where should I put it? Over here, I guess. Yeah, that would be actually a good spot. Okay, and another one I'll probably screw up somewhere here. How do you pick it up? Interesting. Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, you know what? I think I'll just pick up another part because this is becoming tedious. Okay, so let's take another one out of the inventory. By the way, guys, for those of you that are playing with keys or COS, please do let me know how do you actually pick up the parts. Okay, let's attach this one and fasten it using the screwdriver. Okay, and now it's time to link these two, I believe. So I'm just switching between the vessels. Okay, and I need to be linking them, so Bill, can you please link these guys? Link and link here. Plug! Okay, so now we are connected. So now we will be actually transferring the fuel from the Karborundrum lander, or what was left of it, to our rover. Note we will not be able to fully load the rover because, well, we have two 2.5 meter tanks and we only have one 2.5 meter tank in the lander, but still, half loaded is good enough. Okay, so let's stop everything and we will be disconnecting. Okay, stop, sorry, resume. Later on I realized that this is due to the disable warehouse stuff. I don't know exactly how the warehouse stuff works, but I figured out I need to transfer it, yeah. Transfer the Karborundrum, sorry. As far as I can see, there is no more Karborundrum on that one, so good, I guess we did our job. Time for a long drive back. Or, not really that long, it's actually going quite nicely, so. Congratulations, Karborundrum Retriever, you have successfully fulfilled your mission, which is basically giving us some sweet Karborundrum. Okay, Bill, can you climb? Or you can just jump in and literally jump in. Okay, now retracting the ladder and let's go back. We have our markers KSE runway start, which is good enough, I guess, to get us on the correct alignment. 11 kilometers drive, and I'm hoping we'll pick up enough speed to be able to successfully drive over there. What I need now, when driving on this countryside, I would need some country music, you know, like... I guess that would work. 10 kilometers out, and I'm thinking when... I'm still figuring out how I'm going to be refueling things, but I guess because since we are using the Tech Life support, I cannot leave this to Kerbals in because I don't have that much food. So what I will do, I will probably take Bill and Hallery out of the vehicle and just leave the vehicle there. So when the next time we will need the vehicle, I'll just drive one Rover, one Kerbal over to it, and then we will be going to refuel stuff. Okay, hill coming up. I can already see the possibility of my Rover struggling a little bit, but I think we have enough speed, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem, I hope. And hopefully after that it should be pretty much downhill from there, so fingers crossed, guys. Yeah, fuel charge depleted, sure. Have to let it refill a little bit, otherwise Bill and Hallery would remain out of oxygen and probably die on Kerbin. ultimately they should just be pulling down the window shades and things should be dandy, but yeah, well, it's funny how the people these days are dependent on air condition. Okay, 7 kilometers out, and yeah, so talking a little bit about the future operations, I plan to figure out a way how to get a big, surface base on top of Duna, and also to expand a little bit more into exploration aspect. We have been around Duna and Lathe for a little while, but we have barely touched the Sarna system or anything else for that matter, so I figured it would be a nice to actually visit these planets as well. And we do have some probes en route, so I'm hoping that they would be able to come soon enough, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, driving towards the runway, and we will be, once we are done with this, we will be parking this bad boy outside of administration building because it's close enough to the runway and it's still, doable. So 3.7, we have picked up a good pace here because we were going downhill, and obviously I'm occasionally applying a brake here and there just to make sure that we don't go too quickly and got ourselves broken basically. And we see the KSC from here. Wonderful. So roughly 3 to 4 kilometers drive, and as you see guys, this hasn't been overly long drive, but yeah, still pretty important because, like I said, Karborundrum is a tough fuel to get, but once you have it, well, the Delta V is yours. Roughly 1 kilometers away from the runway, and we have with us 4,500 units of Karborundrum. I'm hoping that this will last at least a little while. Or at least, we have our Karborundrum collector already en route to the sun, but yeah, the transfer times do take a little bit. Some 120 days. Okay, we are on the runway, and now it's all a matter of getting to the administration building and parking this bad boy. Alright. Hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes. Ooh, oh, overshoot it there a little. Well, let's go cross country, shall we? After all, this is a Rover. It should be able to go on any terrain. Coming up on the administration building, or actually this is the astronaut center. Or Kerbonaut Center, now going towards the administration building. And I think it's safe to assume that we will be parking this guy on the parking lot, of course. Oop, and back. Well, that's it. Great. Okay, so yes, we have only 4 days of life support with these two guys, so we'll definitely take them out. Congratulations and thank you for the help. We will be recovering you. At least you will get some ribbons in terms of drive on Kerbin. Okay, and one more. Great, and then we will be recovering you as well, which will leave this fuel tanker safely parked. Okay, great. And we can take out the Karborundrum retriever because there is no point of keeping it any longer there. So, great. Then, guys, we have another hire. We have Frasnar Kerman, who is a scientist. And he will be joining our ranks for another important mission that will be happening soon. Trademark. Okay. So, the next thing that we want to take care of is the Eve New Tech probe, because, well, our Kerbin to Duna window is coming ever so closer. Not to Duna, to Eve, sorry. And we want to basically ship that one off. It's a low-tech probe, but it's testing some new advanced technologies, namely the inline balloons and also the landertrons. So let's figure out a good ejection angle. And we have our precise node where we will be inputting the data from the transfer plot calculator, I guess. Transfer window planner. And that should give us a ballpark estimate when it comes to rendezvous with Eve. And then we can always fiddle a little bit back and front until we get an actual encounter. We are well positioned to go to Eve. As you can see, we already have a near miss, so let me see if I can tweak that rendezvous a little bit better. Okay, maybe here. I'm just trying, guys, to set the parameters to see if I can assist with the rendezvous. Okay, and we do have Eve encounter. Great. Well, it's not the world's best encounter, but it will get the job done anyway. Let's see if we can make the encounter closer or sweeter for that matter. Okay, right. I'm over it. I don't feel like much more fiddling will actually assist too much when it comes to securing a good enough encounter. So, yeah, let's leave it at that, and then we will be correcting at ascending or descending node. Since this is a remote tech controlled probe, I would be suggesting that we actually take the flight computer to actually perform all these. Man, I really was forcing to get a nice encounter with Eve. And it's actually quite low. It's 1067, so it's not that hard of a burn. Now, we have no connection. Oops. Well, that's something that we clearly didn't take into account. So, we are waiting until one of our satellites becomes visible. and then we'll be basically just continuing with our maneuver burn. I just hope that it happens in due time. Oh, and we got the signal. Great. Well, you know what to do. Point maneuver prograde and make sure that you execute maneuver. Awesome, because you never know when we might lose connectivity again. Doing just another orbit around the Kerbin, and once we get back we will be performing the ejection. Or let's make another round for old time's sake. "12 minutes. And let's delete this alarm, and now we're pretty close to our burn, so we will be performing it shortly. Let's burn, and yeah, that will be performing the ejection out of Kerbin to Eve. As you can see, it's pretty simplistic transfer stage, basically just one nuke, but given the size of the probe it's more than adequate. Oh, this is a nice screenshot. And guys, I think that actually after performing this ejection and once we leave the Kerbin SOI, I will be wrapping up the episode. So yeah. I really like that, pinky plume that the Nerva makes. Okay, another 300 seconds or 20 seconds to burn. And alright, we have an encounter. It's not the world's best encounter, but it works. I'm gonna be just putting maneuver node to somewhat improve the... I just wanted to see where the ascent node to Eve is. Somewhere around here. And then we can obviously fix it and tweak it to make sure that the encounter is nicer. Okay, that's it. Fingers crossed. Now we are left with one more thing to do, and that's just tiny tweaks to get this as close to Eve as possible, because we will be going into the Eve's atmosphere with this one, make no mistakes. Yeah, and now up and away. Okay, this definitely looks better. And this looks great. I mean, the small corrections we can always fix once we are close, but I'm feel pretty confident with this one. Okay, so I turned off the flight computer, left everything on the SAS, and let it be. Let's just take a brief moment to as always appreciate the beauty of Kerbin and say bye-bye to our probe. You shall be going to Eve. If probes are to be honored, this one should be honored for that. Okay guys, well, as this probe leaves Kerbin, I will wish you all thank you very much for watching. Like if you like the video, hit that subscribe button for more KSP Port Fever and XCOM 2 content, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. This is GrunfWorks signing off.